Motherfucking mini episode. Mini episode. Motherfucking mini episode.
Do y'all fuck them till they come? Damn right, we make them come. Welcome to another phenomenal episode of My Mama Told Me.
The podcast where we dive deep into the pockets of black conspiracy theories.
And we finally work to prove the conspiracies of you, the listeners. It's a Langston and David mini episode.
God, a motherfucking mini episode. And man, did that get me good. That was, you nailed that one.
You remember that song?
Do I remember it? I thought when I was in 6th grade, I was like, the Rough Riders are going to be together forever. And they are going to be the most legendary hip hop group of all time. I thought, like, there's no way this cohort of murderers and thieves could ever find themselves splitting up. I was like, this is perfect hip hop right here.
I truly thought they had it all. They had a woman, you know, they had the locks. What else do you need?
Yeah.
DMX, they had a bunch of dogs everywhere.
Jay-Z would come hang out with them sometimes.
Juvenile was on that song.
Drag On had a speech impediment. It was perfect. It was a perfect little crew.
Drag On was tough because it was like, your name is Dragon and you rap about fire.
Yeah, that was his whole shit.
The album was called The Opposite of H2O.
Bro, if you would have asked me in 6th grade, I would be like, well, of course, Drag On's the star. And everyone else is sort of like finding their, you know what I mean? Finding their way beside his ever-burning light.
Yeah, he's the one that's going to stick around forever. I don't much know about this Eve character.
DMX, what do those letters stand for? Let's figure that out first.
Maybe get an animal.
And too many dogs for my taste. He needs a mythical beast. He had a lot of dogs.
And all those dogs were like scary, bad people dogs. It was terrifying.
Cave dog in the DMX kennels.
No, they were shitting everywhere. You know how dogs shit everywhere because they're stressed? That's what it felt like all those dogs were doing.
We never saw much footage of them in those videos because I bet they just were barking and shitting constantly.
All the time, chewing up everybody's Reebok question lows.
And they can afford to get new ones, but after a while, it's inconvenient either way.
Yeah, truly, truly, truly. Man, this is it feels weird to not be live right now.
Yeah, we've wrapped up our extremely successful tour, I'd say.
Yeah,
it was a good tour.
Thank you to everybody for coming out. We got to see you. We took all those pictures. Sold a bunch of hats.
Yeah, we took pictures with everyone who wanted one. Like fucking idiots.
A few who didn't.
Oh yeah. There were some people who really got sort of forced into it by the person they came with, but we definitely took a lot of pictures and we had a lot of great audiences. There were a lot of fun, full shows filled with you, the listeners, and we didn't know that any of you would even be there. So we feel very grateful, I'd say, to have had anybody show up, much less so many of you all.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Anyways, so I just want to get that out.
No, you did the right thing. You thank these goofy bitches for doing what they should have been doing the whole goddamn time.
Which was giving us your money.
What the fuck? Why do you keep it? Why we need it? We need it. Give it to us.
I'm obviously better at it than you are.
Yeah, just give us your fucking money.
You see these hats?
Just give us all your money. Fucking dummies.
Fucking come up off of it. What, you got kids? I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck about your kids. We all got kids.
Everybody got kids.
That's not new.
Trying to buy a new fucking remote control boat.
I'm trying to leave my family and I'm going to need some seed money.
This is a down payment on his new life.
Come on, invest. Sharks. Sharks. If I can bend your wet ear for a second. We have a conspiracy.
Yeah, because if you leave your family, you got to go far. Sorry, yeah, let's do that.
No. You're right. If I'm gonna leave my family, I do have to maximize on it. I can't fuck around and leave them just to like middle out. I really gotta like make sure that this money is stretching the way it's supposed to.
Big time. Anyways,
we got an email from a person named Kira. Kira sent us an email. And they said, "Hi, David and Langston. A coworker of mine at a bakery once suggested that the government secretly has the technology to control the weather and that they may have intentionally caused Hurricane Katrina to curb overpopulation." Whoa. Especially among the black population. For context, she's black and I'm not. Uh-oh, Kira. I may have seemed like a safe audience for far-out ideas because of my interest in UFOs at the time. I find it easier to blame the inadequate relief effort on racism, hence George Bush doesn't care about black people, a quote by someone with continuing relevance to conspiracies. But what do you think? Is the government evil enough to accomplish this? And more importantly, are they competent enough to pull off such a feat of engineering and keep it a secret? Thanks, Kira.
I have a couple notes.
Yeah, sure.
Primarily the idea that she's like, yeah, I guess she thought I was safe to talk to because I like aliens. Listen, if there's a white person that I think is safe to talk to, I'm not starting with the weirdo who likes aliens. That's like 8 thoughts.
No, you're not the safe one.
You're not the safe one at all.
You make me maybe the most nervous.
Yeah, man, you could do anything.
Yeah, no, I don't trust you one bit, Kira. No. If we're co-workers and I know you have an affinity for UFOs, then ma'am, you are taking this UFO thing a little too far.
Yeah, also,
you're noisy. Yeah. You know what I mean?
How did he come up at work?
Yeah,
at the bakery.
When? She's like, hey, you know, this morning bun looks a lot like a UFO I saw. And it's like, bitch, all right. Okay.
See?
You're out of control.
That's why I only told you my last name. No first. Now it's the alien lady.
Also, not for nothing, this is big snitching on Kira's part to be like, yeah, a black lady I talked to told me this, and she thought it was safe, and turns out it's not, because I'm gonna tell 2 niggas from across the country. I'm gonna give all her secrets away about Katrina and the hurricanes and weather control.
Yeah, I feel like you're proving why we can't trust alien white ladies. But on to the conspiracy theory.
Yeah, so let's talk about the possibility.
I will say I love it.
You do love
it. Yeah, man. Anything that takes it away from Mother Nature and puts it into the government, I'm all for it.
Whoa, you're like, hell yeah, I'm into this. No notes.
I like it. I like as a conspiracy. Like some I like, some I don't. Yeah, I like this. I like a weather machine. Come on, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it is fun.
Right?
It's like classic evil. It's like old Coke, you know what I mean? For evil, where it's like, oh, we truly are. It's no longer just like board meetings of them trying to like draw weird lines around like voting, systems to make sure that people aren't able to get their voices heard and lose out on like funds and shit. This is truly like, we are going to make the wind kill you. That's crazy. You know what I mean? Like that's passion for racism.
Also, if you think about it, like imagine
a passion that I would say is lost.
Yeah, no, it's racism is so, you know what it is racism is so corporate now. I like the old school.
It's so branded.
It's sleek. It's like the Uber. You know what I mean? I miss the wild, wild west of racism in overalls. That's what I want to bring back.
Come on, man.
Come on.
You spend a good game.
I'm telling you.
I like a motherfucker that goes hot tui into a basin and then says something evil afterwards.
Yeah. I want my racism moonshining and whatever that entails.
Yeah, I think it does feel classic. You were saying something else about sort of your at least want to believe in whatever this is.
Oh, yeah. Just the idea that a weather machine is like, when I think about a weather machine, I think of like some kind of scientist who looks like Dr. Robotnik and like a machine with like a bunch of bells and whistles and pulleys. And he's in like a lab on top of a hill like Dr. Frankenstein. Like that's fun to me. Now, and then now with the population control, my only issue with this idea is like it killed a lot of white people too.
Yeah, it killed a lot of white people, and even if it was, because it was, I think, more successful at killing black people than white people, right? Like I think if we crunch,
most stuff is.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck. That said, I don't know that it did anything to really put a dent in the population as a whole. Like I think it just took out a bunch of local black people in New Orleans and obviously surrounding areas, but it certainly wasn't like, oh shit, we're down enough people that we finally can afford water differently than we could before. You know what I mean? Like gasoline prices have dropped. It wasn't that kind of vibe.
Exactly. And the scope of it wasn't like it feels like it would be a lot of work for a little output. If that would, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's a lot of levers I imagine you have to pull on the machine to be able to kill that many people via a fucking hurricane.
Exactly. Also, when else are they employing it? Because if they got a weather machine, they wouldn't just have used it for Katrina, right? Like, you would have used it a bunch of other times.
I'm glad you asked that question because we've actually addressed this once before on the podcast. There is something called the HAARP project, HAARP project, which is it's rooted in Alaska. The U.S. military has sort of like funded this. It's called the High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program. And essentially that program is dedicated towards some level of weather control or weather manipulation. That is a very real thing. However, the government argues that it is not as much a weather control machine as it is just sort of like an attempted system and sort of figuring out better ways of managing. It's essentially being able to communicate across like bigger like landscapes and across different sort of regions without sort of having obstructions and all the other things that would keep our communications fucked up.
So it's more of a harnessing than like a full control type of situation. The point is that they're not trying to be like tornado over here, bow.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. The project is nothing more sinister than radio science and research facility. Yeah, the argument was that it was about radio communication, and then a bunch of people saw that this was happening in Alaska in this really isolated place where they also weren't getting a lot of information of what is actually happening with the HAARP program, and then they decided that this was a secret tool for weather control.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's also like, here's my other issue with this is like, to break it down in reality, if we could control the weather, we have a much more impending weather issue we kind of got to deal with other than killing black people, right? Like if there's any type of weather control.
Say more.
global warming. Maybe we got to fit. Like, that's right. If we could control weather, maybe that was, and we don't seem to have that fixed. So it's hard for me to believe that, like, we got this planetary weather issue, but we're just like making storms.
If I'm gonna play devil's advocate here, I actually think that there's a fair argument to be made that global warming could be intentional, right? That like they are fully aware that global warming is has a real effect on our day to day and eventually like everyone's lives. But that is how you can create a natural system of sort of like tiers in society, right? That like poor people will stay poor as long as the fucking, the globe decides it, as opposed to like if it's just capitalism, eventually people might revolt against that and be able to fight the system in front of them. This shit just says like, nah, God picked this for you. Haiti, fucking all these places where it's just always fucked up.
I like that. Keep talking. You're talking that shit. I'm in. I'm back in. Fuck me. That was great.
Yeah, it's dark, man, but
it's I never even put it to thought like that. Fuck in shit. I hate that.
Yeah. No, it makes me sad, but it doesn't feel as crazy as I wish it felt. Do you know what I mean? That like, I don't think, if I'm being real, I don't necessarily know that I believe that they're doing this through some like fantastical weather machine. But I do think they recognize that like the globe is getting hotter. The planet is getting hotter and is reaching dangerous levels of heat. But I do think that the rich people who are sort of in charge recognize that the rising temperatures do not necessarily have a direct effect on their lives, but do have a direct effect on the people they want to keep impoverished and or struggling to survive. And there's no reason for me to back up off of like my drilling and fucking, fracking or whatever the fuck it is, if the poor people stay poor and I stay rich while I'm still here.
Right. And I can always afford air conditioning or whatever, whatever it's needed. If it comes to the point where the rich people have to live in a bubble, if you got all the money, you could live in the bubble.
Right.
Like it'll always be, that's what wealth does for you, right?
And they're saying, I think, if they're being pretty upfront about the shit, they're like, look, we're not planning for all y'all to be in the bubble. We're saying that bubbles are possible and you were never a part of it. So what the fuck difference does it make if the globe gets hotter? We'll be fine.
Man, do you think the bubble is going to have a black neighborhood?
I do. I really do.
And that's like, fuck. I think that like, I don't think that they're going to be able to erase this completely. Like, I think that we'll have our own little, like, it'll be vibrant, brightly colored, a lot of ethnic food, restaurants and things like that.
I also don't think that, and this is what makes it so sad for me, is like, I don't think that they're planning for the bubble and thriving towards utopia at the same time. Do you know what I mean? Like they're planning for the bubble and they're just going to make the bubble have the exact same problems that outside the bubble had. They're just going to do it in like a smaller little, like, fucking square footage of bubble stuff.
Oh, yeah. And to speak to what you said, because like utopia doesn't have rich people and poor people, right? They need the system as is. So it's like, there's got to be poor people in the bubble.
Got to keep a poor person in the bubble. And who's better to make poor than niggas?
South Americans.
Because they going to sing. They going to be singing and dancing, playing soccer and shit. It's going to be
very entertaining. Very entertaining.
White poors are fucking dull and sad. You know what I mean? You don't want to see that in your bubble.
Yeah. You know all that hillbilly poetry everybody loves so much. You know what I mean?
No. Best possible scenario, you make a Taylor Swift, but She didn't really grow up poor. She ain't from that country shit. She was just pretending so she could get on.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah. They're the worst at being poor. We're probably the best at it. I think Asians are pretty good at it.
Asians are pretty good at it, but Asians, I think, also benefit from at least certainly like big portions of Asia not being aware of how other people are handling their poor. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, I think Black people are the best because we see how everybody does their poor and we still thrive as poor. Asians like cut off all communication. And so like you got to see somebody else do it to know if you're really playing at the top of your game.
That's facts. In North Korea, it's just you don't know what's going on.
You don't even know how we pour over here. You know what I mean?
You never even seen us break dance.
Yeah. And
I like that. I think that's reasonable. I think that's good. That's good.
So I guess, Kira, if we can circle back to the question you are asking, do we think that it's possible that the government is evil enough to accomplish weather control? It sounds like we're both saying no. We don't think that the government is creating a machine for weather control, and we don't think that Katrina is a product of that. But we do think that the government is very much intentionally keeping the global temperatures moving in a negative direction for poor populations, for people who need the weather to be fixed the most, because that's how we keep the profits profitable.
I thought this one wasn't going to bum me out,
Yeah, George Bush doesn't care about Black people wasn't wrong. It just wasn't. It wasn't because he like pulled a lever and was like, yeah, we're going to fucking make those levees pop.
You know what would have been funny, I think, about that clip was if Mike Myers had said
it. But he does it in the Shrek voice.
That would have altered the whole course of history.
He's just a little Scottish. Yeah, I'd love that. Donkey. And then they still cut to Chris Tucker afterwards for some reason. Why did they cut to Chris Tucker?
Because they were like, this guy, he'll be safe. Whatever he's doing, it'll be all right. And that was in a time period. You forget the early aughts. We still really, really trusted Chris Tucker a lot.
We did really trust Chris Tucker. This was back when Chris Tucker was making $20 million a movie to tell Chinese people they needed to speak English.
Man, what a good bit, though. What a good bit. That whole movie.
Yeah,
him just being like, nobody knows what you're saying.
He had a beautiful run, man. Just being like, what the fuck are you talking about, Jackie?
Bro, there's literally nothing. The whole movie, it's him saying stuff and him being like, shut up, you mush-mouthed idiot.
It's like, Chris, I don't think this is going to age well, man, but fuck is it funny right now.
Oh, man. It's still funny today, though. It's like, it's still funny to me. I just hate that Rush Hour. I hate that he ditched Chris Tucker and then went and did it with a white man for 3 more movies with Owen Wilson. I don't like that.
Oh, yeah, I didn't like that either. You know what? I never fucked with those movies, and you're articulating it in a way that I don't think I've ever been able to. That's what it felt like to me. It felt like he was like, all right, well, I did it once with Chris Tucker, so now I'm going to do it with a more popular, safer version of this thing. And it's like, nah, man, stay loyal.
I'm saying
Black people and Asian people, we had a beautiful thing going during that little run.
Did we? I felt like, I don't know if Asian people love Rush Hour. I mean, maybe they do.
They shouldn't. It's terribly bigoted towards them.
Yeah, like, I think they got the short end of that stick.
But listen, Jackie whooped ass and Chris just got punched in the face most of the movies. So I don't know. I think maybe there's a trade-off to be had.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
Either way, they were best friends as far as I was concerned.
Oh, yeah.
And he went and made movies with Owen Wilson, with whom he had zero chemistry.
No, it didn't even seem like they knew each other. That was the thing. They had great chemistry. They had great chemistry.
Come on, man.
He said, nigga, remember? And we loved it. America loved it. He said, what's up, my nigga?
Yeah, we were eating that up with chopsticks. Yeah, it was fucking...
It was hilarious.
That was fucking the best. We let that evil Republican motherfucker Jackie Chan say nigga, and we were like, fuck yeah.
Right in our faces.
Fuck yeah.
Right in our faces.
You know, he's like infamous in China for being like a crazy conservative.
Yeah, he loves the government. He loves the Chinese government.
Yeah, he's like passionate about it to the point that even the Chinese people were like, bro, he ain't our guy like that because he's too much.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense, though. He would be the guy, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he really he's not The Rock. You know what I mean? Like it's the same story of a guy who sort of like came up from nothing, picked himself up by his metaphorical karate bootstraps, and then like was like, well, everybody should do that, and if you're starving, that's on you, big dog.
Everybody should be incredible at karate. Why aren't we all incredible at karate?
Everyone should be arguably the greatest martial artist to ever walk the planet. Why isn't everybody doing that?
Also somewhat of an acrobat / stuntman.
And with pretty good comedic timing. Not perfect. You got to pair him with the right person, but solid.
Oh, he could deliver a joke. He knew what was going on. He got it.
Yeah.
Like he knew how to play into it.
And to do that in a second language that he refuses to learn completely is pretty impressive.
Dog, you think I could do that? You pair me up with Chow Yun Fat? This doesn't work anymore.
Hell no.
I wish I had another. I wish I had a different Chinese guy. I don't have as many as I should. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I thought the fact that you pulled Chow Yun Fat out of your hat was pretty impressive.
It's all right. Here's what I want.
Yeah, no, you wowed me.
I want to see you with a dark-skinned Asian guy. That's the movie.
Whoa. I'm listening.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're like an amateur. Yeah, you're like an amateur boxer, coming up like you just did like the Goodwill Games type shit. And he's like a loudmouth cop who like drinks too much.
He's like from Indonesia and he's dark. He's
but hilarious.
He's that dark Asian they don't talk about. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we did it. I think Kira.
I think we did something. This is why I shouldn't drink coffee in the afternoon.
We did something, and I pray to God I've mended my relationship with Justin enough that he's gonna not include that last part. But we, Kira, hopefully have answered your question. We think that certainly the government is doing nefarious things with the weather. They just don't need a machine to fuck us up as effectively as just ignoring all the science does. So, yeah, if you have your own conspiracy, tell them where you're going to be. Tell them about your shit.
Oh, yeah. Come out. BringDavidAplate.com. All my dates are on there. I'm all over the place, the Midwest, the South, a little bit of the Northeast, everywhere except for the West Coast. Come see me. Very exciting. I won't say any slurs, I swear to God, except for the ones we all like.
Hell yeah. And if you want to see me, I'll be at first follow me at Langston Kerman. And next Thursday, September 7th, I'll be performing in Los Angeles at the Lyric Hyperion Theater. I would love for you all to show up for that. It's a small little black box. So, if everybody buys a ticket right now, we can solve this problem and I ain't got to do no more promotion. Hey. And then the 8th and 9th, I'll be at the Mic Drop in Arizona. And then we have a My Momma Told Me live show that's coming up September 21st or 22nd. We haven't quite nailed it down, but it's going to be in Denver as a part of the High Plains Festival, and we're really excited for it. So please come out if you live in Denver or the surrounding Denver mountain region area. We would love to see you for the My Mama Told Me live show.
Yeah, that's it.
Fuck yeah. And if you want to send us your own drops, your own conspiracy theories, if you want to accuse the Jews of manipulating the weather, send it all to mymommapod@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. That's everything. Bye, bitch.
Motherfucking mini episode. Mini episode. Motherfucking mini episode. Motherfucking mini episode. Mini episode. Motherfucking mini episode.